Yo, I'm from Izizi. I'm from Izizi to the core, man.
Roots all the time.
Ayanai, blessings, Rasta. I think because of your locks, I think nowadays I should be referring to you as Nayabingi and start doing the Rasta sign. You know, say. Anyway, that's a story for another.
I'm impressed.
To say the least. So today we are continuing the conversation about the education system, but we want to look at like what is the product of the education system, and also what is success to you, to me, to a lot of other people. So yeah, that's that. So I think I'd make not a summary of sort, but from the last time's conversation, I'll just try and pull it back for. Make sure you go and check it out, regardless. But we were looking at how the system also works and what should be working for us. And I think the basis of the matter is education is proper, is correct. People should get educated. But some of this means that we are being educated with are not our own. They are systems that came with some other person who had a different agenda. So I really don't feel. That's why I've lost basically the confidence in the system. So I am a big fan of people getting the information, but it has to come in a right way. And a really good example is I'll give this one example. In Finland, they have, I think, one of the most advanced forms of education, and if you check out the system, it's really they're just doing the basics right. If we make sure to do the basics right as a society, this actually comes from the government point of view, because now we can see even children are struggling with this, I don't know, junior secondary thing. We don't understand what is really going on, or the parents are in limbo. So I think it should come from a standpoint and a viewpoint of us embracing ourselves first, then coming up with a curriculum or an education reform policy where we that speaks of us, that speaks Africa, that speaks Africans, that speaks Ubuntu, speaks a lot of things. So because if you check even the Finnish system, they really looked at their history and where they came from the Vikings time and everything, and they tried to come up with an education system that actually favors them. In Finland, a child starts school at 7 years of age. 7 years. Imagine 7 years of your time you're just chilling and doing the best thing, and the only your compulsory years for schooling are only 9. So once you're 16, fam, you can do the hell you want to do with your life. So yeah, that's me. So yeah, Kira Futi, talk to I, brother.
At some point, I felt like I'm in Finland. As you talked, you praise them so much. But anyway, if it's working for them, we should have a system that is working for us.
Exactly.
The question then you raised, what is success? Because the preaching we have since the first time you walk into school, it's maybe 3 years. It's so fucked up that a kid who cannot even be able to figure out how to poop and is in class with a fucking stranger.
Yeah.
And they are grouped together like you see the way you had cattle, it looks like that to me. And
they're just bundled together.
Yes, and they have fucking uniform and
institutionalized.
I mean, like, it's like dogs when when you're thinking about it, it's like when you have dogs, and then you are teaching them how to behave, such that you find there are those very big dogs and they can't bite anybody because they are stupid. They have been controlled.
They've been conditioned.
Yeah. So the question of what is success? What the fuck is success generally?
Yeah.
Because the key, we now know which is the key.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We don't have a fucking door like we said last time. We don't have the house. We don't really have anything. Just we have the key.
Yeah, there's no gate. There's no key.
We just have the key.
Yeah, the key.
Now, the question is, success is, we just hear people say, is he successful? Is it buying a Japanese car, driving it on a Chinese road? I'm talking about Africa here. It's not like someone is going to Japan. No, it's a Japanese car on a Chinese road.
Yeah.
Then you build a house using imported. Everything is imported,
Basically, yeah.
And then you sit there and you're paying a fucking mortgage to a European company. And is that generally the thing we call success?
It's what people deem as success in today's world, which I think it's that
whole fucking like lifestyle makes you fat and stressed. That is not African. An African person is not supposed to be stressed and then enslaved to paying like the fucking mortgage and going to work every single morning to build a corporation that is not even our corporation.
Yeah.
So that whole idea of education is generally to drive you from freedom to slavery. And now I was having this this thing I do, this cycling thing I do every time, I use a bike because I don't want to be fat as like those. I don't like.
Shots have been fired, man.
I want to be like someone is 100 kilos.
Yeah.
That's the weight of a cow or something.
This is the darkest you've ever gone, man. You're stupid, low.
No, you just think about it. Like, I was telling you a story.
That's dark, that's dark. You need prayers.
No, I just.
Yeah, but it's not. You can't be weighing 100 kgs now.
No, there are people who are like even
150
kgs. Like then you fucking look at a hippo and you like imagining them with the same scale.
Yeah.
Like, I was having this cycling.
Like a rhino's charging at you. The lad might just be wanting to say hi, but for you see it like it's a rhino who's charging.
It's like you call a boy, or the boy comes to you, and then you're so fucking fat, and then you're picturing this is gonna like drop me when it gets to me. No, I mean, like I was having this cycling thing, and I stopped by this what do you call them, this petrol station nowadays, or gas station as they call them in the US of A, America. Yep. There was this family, and it's like they have 2 kids, and the wife, and the man is the one driving.
Yeah.
And then they pull up there, and I'm there. I'm just trying to get a snack.
Mm-hmm. And hydrate also.
And hydrate.
Very important.
And maybe just relax and look at things. And then the kids were so much interested in how I am kind of dressed, number one. Then number two, and this thing I'm doing,
Yeah, they have
it's
not
it's
seen
no.
this thing. Yeah.
One thing I noted is they were fucking fat. Everybody in
Ah.
that car was just if you group the whole weight,
Yeah,
maybe
that'd be
they
like-
can surpass the weight of the car.
So actually remind me of something. So like in rugby, you have like scrums.
Yeah.
Right, so a scrum you have like 8 people coming in. So what generally happens is the people who take the data, they take the data of like the whole how many kilograms there are of the 8 people that are going in the scrum. Now because it'll be a scrum of 2 teams, so 8 people and then 8 people. Then you see there this team's scrum is 900 kgs. This other one is 890 kgs. I think that was the feeling generally that you had like if I bundle them together,
It's like that
I'd
car
make a
is
pack.
going through a lot of stress. It was like carrying. Anyway, let's not shame or it's not
Yeah.
shaming. Like, just think
we
they
just
have
having fun.
decided they are pulling over there so that they can get chips and potato chips. They get hamburgers and whatever they sell there is all junk, you
Yeah.
know. Apart maybe from some drinks or some
Yeah,
whatever.
water and
Now
stuff.
you sitting in a car for maybe hours, and then you're going to continue sitting in the same fucking car after eating that junk.
Yeah.
Now those are the people we are saying are successful, because I imagine
SUV, man.
yes, I imagine that maybe the lady is employed or the man is, they have like a job and they have like a saving scheme and all these kind of shit, and then they have like a house, then
The mortgage one, yeah.
the mortgage and all those things. So they are slaves, but generally fat slaves. Sorry. Right.
Okay, that sounds bad because, well, if you do know the history of slaves, I don't think there was ever a fat slave because the work was hard, man. Back in the cotton fields and sugarcane fields, the work was hard. So
I think
Anyway, we have
slavery
a
is
new form
generally
of-
in your head,
Yeah.
in the way you're thinking. So I mean, is that success? Because if you're not creating any solution for anybody, because at the end of the day, you are working for a bank or whatever that is European,
yeah,
and then you hear telling us that okay, we are successful, we are good, but you're not good.
yeah,
What is happening is that you are being used. You are being used
yeah,
as an African. Now, if you think about it further, the people who are educated, because they are not creative in any way, they cannot bring solutions to our problems. They haven't so far.
yeah,
It's been like years and years of research, because actually most of the things they are doing is just what we call a routine thing. It's not like creating something
from
new.
scratch, exactly.
Yeah, because if
Found something there.
yes, you
Just
found it.
Continuing. If it's banking, you're just continuing being a cashier or whatever.
Yeah. So if you think about it again, we are importing chairs from China.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that? We have timber here.
You have artisans.
We have everything.
Exactly.
But now you want to import furniture. And then you see a whole kind of like a whole what do you call it, this cargo ship
Yeah.
full of shit that can be made here.
It's ridiculous.
We import toothpicks.
Wow. Toothpicks of all the things.
Yes, we import toothpicks.
Yet we do make matchsticks. The same place here.
Yes.
God. This country sometimes can just tell you.
Is it the country or is it the continent?
Actually, yeah, it's the
It's a
continent.
fucking continent if you go round. Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the question should be, how is are people growing.
Mm.
Now, every time I'm wearing something that is imported, how is that helping the country grow, or the country? How if you are importing food and we have arable land,
Yeah.
and we have very educated farmers,
Mm.
apparently we have degrees and masters in
Agricultural
agriculture,
education and
yes.
agricultural economics.
we have even a school that is focusing
On
specifically on agriculture.
Yet we haven't solved the drought issue.
Then we have a problem with food, eating fucking food. What do you expect, man?
It's a fucked up situation.
So education is not bringing us solutions.
Yeah.
What is supposed to bring us the answers is innovations.
Exactly. And thinkers also, people who think and execute.
Have you seen the way we are celebrating the dumbest shit? Like some beach dancing, and
Yeah,
then she ends up getting a job.
It's ridiculous, man. When the people who are thinking or creating, I think what happens for them is you are highlighted by a certain TV station. Yeah, this guy is actually making things from scratch. Then the story ends. How many of actually these people who are thinkers and creators, how many of them have never even been documented so that we see them? How many?
It's our culture that is becoming very, very shitty.
Yeah.
As a people. What we celebrate is what is not supposed to even be seen. We are celebrating 7th marriage of some we're celebrating 7th marriage, and everybody is attending that.
It's fucking.
And we are saying we are educated. Are we really educated, or are we becoming more
dumber?
fools?
Yeah, I think as the years go by, it's like we're becoming more dumb.
Is the IQ of the country generally is dropping because we are entertaining too much? Because if you look at, like you said, Finland,
Yeah,
if you look at Japanese kind of
the system. And
the
setup.
system, you look at their TV stations, they are highlighting success stories every fucking day.
Damn time, exactly.
Now here, which I don't watch TV nowadays. Of course, it's been like many years. I don't care whatever people are going to say on TV, because it's all damn shit.
Yeah, it's shit, man.
Maybe it's like 1%. You will get some smart person might be passing by the interview. Like, oh, that guy said something sensible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's politics. This person is bad. This other person is good. Those kind of things, they do not add any value to us.
Zero value.
We are supposed to be sitting like all these other countries or all these other continents. The way Chinese have sat down and decided we are going to be successful. How do we do it? We will manufacture everything.
Yeah.
Cheap, expensive, everything. We are going to be the industry of the world.
Exactly.
Now, Africa is what? What is Africa? They call it shithole. People say it's a shithole continent. But the question is, are they really talking the truth?
No, sir. I don't think they're talking.
No,
the truth.
right now, the way we act, because our coffee is farmed here, processed elsewhere, then it is brought back to us.
It's one of the saddest things. I, as a consumer of coffee, actually, I'm really depressed about it, because I think one time I went to a country and I saw what people are calling a coffee factory, and I was like, where is the machinery? This is just some place where coffee beans are dried, and I don't know, you remove the husk or something like that. Where is the fucking machinery that turns these coffee beans into freaking coffee that I can drink? If I'm going to a fucking tea factory, like the way I'd go to a tea factory somewhere in Morang or in Limuru or whatever, I'd go and I'd find tea leaves that I can actually go back and make tea with. But when it comes to coffee, I'm going there and then I'm being told, bro, this ain't the final product. I was like asking, then why then do you call it a factory? Just call it a place where they dry coffee beans or something like that.
A drop point, coffee drop point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just call it that. Don't call it a fucking factory. It's so embarrassing that you're doing that, and it's also so sad that also you can see even the coffee situation. It's even the little that we have. The people who do it here also have privatized the shit. So it means the money isn't going to the people. The money is going to the pockets of people. So I think it's a point where it's a dark place to be. I want to go back to that point you're saying of the news where, remember, if something is preached, is told to you, even if it's a lie, but it is told to you a lot of damn time, it now becomes the truth. It's basically conditioning. So the same thing. So whatever you're seeing in the news, me sometimes I actually even see it as it's like a distraction. They're trying to distract you from the things that are happening, either it's corruption or whatever. They're just trying to distract you from the shit that is happening right now that you should be opening your eyes to see, because it's so even like the news segment or segue, we can basically just summarize it in like a very few, you can just summarize it easily. Basically, number one, it's politics. Number two, it's people who have died, I don't know, ridiculously. Like, I don't know, some guy in Kakamega has killed someone of an avocado. That one has definitely has to make the news. Some guy has some stupid ass news, man. And then you do find that as the lower you go, the more depressed you also become when you're listening to this news. For me, I think the only part that makes a point for me is sports, because sports it's good, it's athletic, we are seeing people win. This is now real success. We have people like Kipchoge winning. So the sports part, I'd say, like, okay, the sports I can watch, but this other, I don't know, it's shit, man. It's utter shit. I'd rather just not even watch it, because it just gets into your head for no apparent reason. The other thing also I wanted to say was when you said the Chinese sat down and asked themselves, how can, if we want to be world beaters or we want to dominate the world, how are we going to do it? Why aren't we as Africans asking ourselves that question?
I think it's because mostly,
yeah,
we are led, or we haven't faced ourselves as a people and said to ourselves,
yeah,
that I'm the shittiest person as of now,
yeah,
in Africa, in the world, that is. You would say that to yourself, like,
straight up.
Look at the image of yourself in the mirror, and then you say, look at this person is fucking
full of shit, man.
And then you face yourself from that point as a continent,
Yeah,
and then you start moving towards a solution. Now, if we don't do that, we will continue saying to ourselves, like, we're good. We're not good. And if we were to go back to our roots,
yeah,
our way of life, it's not this way of life. This is something that is imported. The way we live is imported.
Exactly, it's not our way of life.
Our way of life used to be, let us sit down as men. As women, they would sit there and they'd figure out what is killing the babies.
Yeah, the family
Yes.
stuff, yeah.
And then when it's men, they would sit down and say, okay, this,
Society, yeah.
we have this
The
problem.
community.
Now, if we are not doing that, we are not going anywhere in the head. We remain a laughing stock. Is education working for us? No. Completely no.
No, yeah.
It's not making anything better. It's actually making it worse. Because the moment you have been programmed as a stupid person, and you tend to start thinking that you are smart, you don't create, you don't solve any problems. All you do is just go to the bank, get that peanut salary or money that you are getting. If you're in the government, other governments or whatever African government, you are stealing from your people
Yeah.
and buying a huge whatever and stacking other money
Abroad.
in Switzerland or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and
Swiss and
and Jersey and Cayman Islands.
and then when you get sick, you go to a European hospital. What happened to our drugs? Our just drugs. You can't call them drugs.
Oh wow, what is it called?
Yeah,
Or medicine.
I'm thinking about of cocaine, drugs. What happened to
Opium.
power? Or weed or something.
Yeah.
But I think weed is good.
Yeah.
Weed is legal in many places.
Exactly, but
And people are just criminalizing it here. We have Aribo, and I think Wajakoya should come to this pod.
yeah, she should be on this podcast, man. We see what he had seen. But the money is there. Canada is already showing that the money is actually there.
So
And the
actually,
benefits are there. Yeah.
you see, like at the end of the day, if we do not face ourselves and we say, no, we need, like there is this story I saw on what is this TV station, NHK World.
Yeah.
There is this guy making his prosthetics. He's making
Artificial limbs.
artificial legs.
Yeah. Let's put it as that.
Artificial legs for people who cannot walk. Now he's now making the same limbs for people to participate in Olympic.
Yeah.
Now you see, instead of an African thinking like that,
Yeah.
or the governments,
Yeah.
whatever we call the governments,
Exactly.
promoting such kind of people,
Initiatives, yeah.
what we have is a lot of bullshit about
And bureaucracy.
in bureaucracy. If you wanna start that, there is a law.
Bro.
There's a law that is don't do this.
Yeah, you can't.
The standards are this.
Yeah.
We need to start creating our own movement way, a way of
Exactly.
moving from point A to point. You don't have to tell me not to do a car.
Exactly.
Don't do a car. It's very risky. You know.
Mm.
Why are you saying to me don't do a car? Do you think in the 1900s when the Europeans were doing those cars, they were as perfect as they look now?
No.
We have a tuk-tuk
Yeah.
from India. Have you seen how terrible that thing is?
Whenever you're in a tuk-tuk, you're like fighting for your life.
But you are
Especially
buying
when-
it and
yeah.
accepting it.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is okay. But now when someone starts to modify even an engine,
Bro.
oh, that's a health hazard. It's gonna kill
yeah.
somebody. And come on,
For crying out loud, man. We can be better. We can do better. as
we can
Africans.
face ourselves and say, at least let us just make a small something.
Yeah. And this person who's trying, let's try and
Let's boost.
show up for him. Yeah.
Let's boost this.
Exactly.
Let's tell the story of this person.
Exactly.
Let's all the time when you look at Africa, be proud to be in the most resourceful part of the world.
This place.
It's this place.
Yeah.
Let's not hear like, oh, it's the UK, it's the US, it's
No.
Europe, it's Russia, it's what. I ask myself a question all
Yeah.
the time.
Mm.
It's legal to have a gun, to own a gun
Yeah.
in many countries.
Yeah.
But why can't we have guns as Africans? If you can be able to afford one, why not? Why can't we make from our own,
Yeah. From scratch.
from scratch? So if you innovate around that thing,
Yeah.
you are arrested. Well, if you think about it,
Yeah.
gun industry is $1 billion business.
Def. The gatekeepers, farmers have to be like on you, man. You can't do that shit.
Now, like, the question is, why not?
They know.
They-
They know the
we
money
asked-
that. They know the money that is there.
We asked about our alcohol again.
Yeah.
Why not?
For the industries.
Yes, why not? Why not? Like, I start brewing. Why not somebody else start making guns? Why not somebody else specialize in a line that
Yeah.
is profitable?
Yeah. If it's nuclear energy, let them try and do
Why
that
not?
shit. Exactly. And we have actually, like, even for nuclear energy, like, we have like everything in Africa.
Why not?
Even the Russians need Africa to do that.
So if
Do their program.
again you keep asking yourself these questions, you realize
Yeah.
we have everything as Africans. We are rich. The only part that we are not doing is thinking and implementing. Talent is across the board.
Absolutely.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
I think on that, I think I'd say some of these things, as you said, are like institutionalized in your head from the word go. Once you enter like the education system, like for once you go into preparatory school, into primary school, you are taught to be what is that name? The person who should always be listening and
a
doing.
slave.
Yes, yeah, okay. I tried to be subtle, but anyway,
A
it is
fucking slave.
as I remember, I think one time, and there's also a very big disconnect between what teachers or people in schools think is actually happening outside here. Because I think I remember one of my school days when I was done. I think I had to go for my certificate. This was like some years back, like 4 years on after I'd done my certification. What is it called? Not certification. Secondary school examination. So I had to go back like for my certificate. And I remember the person I did find there as the new deputy was a teacher that was, I think, head of department of maths during our time. And he asked me the question of, I think by then I was done with campus or something like that. And he asked me the question he asked me, so what are you doing right now with your life? Do you have a job? What's up? And I was like, I don't want to go straight to, I don't want to go ham, but I was like, one, I don't even have the job. For them, if you tell them, oh, you went to study this in school, maybe you should have been an accountant or something, they're like, you had to go through the system so that you actually make it. Now you're an accountant. Bro, you have made it. You are not a scientist. What is it called? You are a lawyer, or you haven't started practicing law. Bro, you have made it. You are a product now of this school. Now you are a proper alumni. We can be looking forward to inviting you to some of these events so that you speak to the kids about this opportunity. I was like, but a lot of the times, some of my peers, they don't have even fucking jobs. They are done with university stuff and shit. Some of them are just doing even jobs to just get them by, because the jobs that they have gone to school to do haven't really materialized. And I think I'll come back to, there was I think something we were talking about, the university system also, and I'll draw it back to you. What do you think right now, as people are also transitioning to this transitioning of the secondary school thing to the university? What's your uptake on it?
The university as we know it,
Yeah. And they are broke. as we
it's
speak.
supposed to be an institution
Yeah.
where people are taught, or where people specialize in some brainy kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the biggest problem we have right now is like we don't have technical schools.
Yes.
We don't have those polytechnics where people,
Nowadays they are called TVET.
yes, whatever they call them, I don't. They can even call them toilet. Who cares? I'm just saying.
You are sick, man.
No, I'm trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on
Yeah.
with us? Like, all these universities,
Yeah.
all this education,
Mm.
yet no answers to very basic problems.
Small things too.
Like, someone would be like, okay, we are we are importing everything,
Yeah.
yet we have a very educated whatever people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Masses.
you ask yourself, what the fuck is this? Because if you cannot create something, what happens is you are looking to be a slave. Like in your situation where
Looking forward to be a slave. Yeah.
yes, in your situation, your teacher was asking you whether you are slave yet,
Ah.
and it's a slave asking you whether you have
Another-
to join them
Yeah. The
in slavery.
are you the new kid on the block?
Yes.
Sad, man. it's fucking dope shit. And also, I think the numbers the other day had come out of kids who are going apparently to transition to universities. Apparently, because some of them didn't make it. So out of an apparent 700,000, only 800,000. Only 100,000 will be proceeding to those universities. Then the rest will have to split yourself within colleges and those TVETs. And I was like,
Which TVETs are there?
I even want to know because I don't think I've even seen one TVET in my life.
Do you know a basic thing like making a chair
Yeah.
is supposed to be understood, not in like after you finish
You're done,
your
yeah,
form 4. Because you see, I see the whole education
Yeah.
as a business.
Mm.
It's a business.
Model,
If
yeah.
somebody is making money, because there is this this question that we have always asked.
Mm.
How comes it's not optional? It's a must.
Yeah.
If it was optional, someone is supposed to tell you, okay, now you after primary school, let's say from there, everybody knows how to speak English.
Mm.
Everybody knows the parts of an insect.
Yeah. What's the thorax and the abdomen?
Yes, everybody knows like there is
The functioning of the ear.
yes.
Yeah.
They just know that whole hogwash that doesn't really matter.
Mm.
Now, how comes they have to go to high school?
Wow.
How comes they have to? They don't have to.
They don't have to.
But now how comes it's every child is supposed
There should be
Somebody-
100% transition.
somebody is
Somewhere.
making a lot of money
Yeah.
from these 4 years
Yeah.
of a creation or a creative mind in between. These are creative mind. This is where we can have Silicon Valley in between that age.
Yeah, exactly.
All that energy is gonna be thrown to some institution
Mm.
that is going to suppress that creativity.
Yeah. Tell them they ain't shit.
They are going to keep them like they are prisoners.
Yeah.
Have you remember like how we used to,
Yeah, we used
to
to
be
call it
treated?
even exactly. We used to call it a prison or a system. Why?
Yes.
Ask yourself that.
How
question.
we used to be like in high school, there is a program that you have to follow, all of you. If you question that,
Yeah. Bro.
you have a problem with your parent
Yeah.
who is also
Program.
colonized,
Mm.
programmed,
Conditioned.
conditioned to think that you will become something
Yeah.
when you go. And actually, they do remove their hard-earned cash
To make sure
to pay that.
conditioning is continuing.
No, the person who is spreading this narrative must be making a lot of money and must be benefiting by remaining in control all along,
Yeah.
because you have killed the creativity.
Absolutely.
So there is no one who is going to oppose you at the end of the. You'll be in power. Like 60 years since we started this education
this
thing.
conditioning thing. Yeah.
60 fucking years.
Yes.
not even
It's almost-
60. You
yeah.
can even put like 100 years, because schools
Yeah,
were
they
there.
are there. Yeah, exactly.
Were
The
there
20
from
1920s
since the
also.
Europeans came in.
Yeah,
It's like 120 years now.
absolutely.
So if you put all that into account,
The conditioning that has
Where
gone
we-
on is mad.
where are we now?
We are fucked right now. As we,
Well-
speak. We are absolutely fucked.
Where
And I think there's another thing. I think your point is really powerful, because I remember. I think it was my bro was telling me one time when he was in school how in secondary how a parent chose to come and tell there's this other kid who's like really good. I think either it was in arts or it was in sports. I can't remember. Maybe there was a football or something, but was really good. But apparently his grades weren't so good. So parent got really angry and fired up and went straight to the school and asked the teacher, kindly don't let this kid play football because it's messing up with his academics. And he was like angry, like he almost turned the place down, man. It was like bro was telling me it was like a war zone. All of a sudden he had like to tell the class teacher, I don't know, the deputy, the games teacher also had to be called. So it's such a sad situation that you one as the parent don't even identify that this kid is actually really talented at something, and now because you have been conditioned to know that grades are actually everything, now he has to be under your conditioning also. It was one of the most saddest stories I think I've had, because remember, kids are just kids, they want to express themselves. Now you have cut that part where this kid actually wants to express themselves and now substituted it with proper conditioning. I really find it as weird, and some of you parents, man, have to wake up or just smell the coffee, man. We are not in the 1900s or 1965. This is not 1970. So go fuck up go and fuck your brain up kindly, so that you don't bring out some fuckery that is going to fuck up your child. Who knows?
It's like I'm hearing you say
Yeah.
the parent was telling the kid,
Yeah.
you know what, you are not gonna be Sadio Mane, you will not be.
Kind of.
That's the message to that.
Absolutely.
You are not going to be Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You are
You're
not
going to
gonna
be-
be.
You're not going to be the Kipchoge. You're not going to be the Manyala. The one
You
who's
cannot be
you'll
those.
Never.
But you can be a fucking slave who gets a salary
Yeah.
at the end of the month, gets a fucking wife, as G what and all these whole situations the way it is.
Mm.
And then that person ends up shitty
Mm.
and paying the school fees like the parent. You know, like
Absolutely.
the parent
It's
is
a
paying.
continuation, yeah.
He's angry because the money he's putting in there
Mm.
is too much for him.
Yeah.
He feels like, oh man, this is too much for me. It's my kid. Now, if my kid one day said, you know what, Dad, I don't want to be I don't want to continue with this thing. I'd be like, let's have an honest conversation.
Absolutely.
Why not? You
Yeah.
say, where do you want to go to?
Mm.
Pursue something like playing tennis. We have seen the Serena
Exactly.
Williams.
Exactly.
The Williams.
Venus.
You have seen that.
Okitoi. Right now, we have a Kenyan also who's now
Yes.
up there.
We have we have seen Naomi. No more jokes on
Yeah. No more jokes. I
Japanese.
think we had a joke on the last podcast. We shouldn't, but you see, she's and even if you look in every facet of every continent, you have like a proper sports person.
yes.
In Japan, you have like Osaka. In the US, you had the Williams.
Mm.
I saw the other day Giannis Antetokounmpo, the basketballer, apparently is of Nigerian whatever descent. So he came from Nigeria. Then his parents had to, I don't know, not even relocate. Had to be immigrants in Greece. Now apparently he's Greece. He's not Nigerian, but anyway, me I see them as Nigerian, and he's one of he's a really good basketballer. So in every sport or in every art, you'll always find people from different places and different continents. And if they were never embraced, like from the word go, we will not be seeing them right now.
How hard is it for a parent to look at their child right in the eyes and just be honest with it and say, I want you to be great.
It's crazy.
At whatever you do, I want you to be great. That is what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Now here we are so fucked up.
It's crazy. But I remember also there's also apart from that story I've said, there's also some green light. There's some parents who are actually like really good. I remember one time I think I had taken probably my bro to school or something, and then I met some other parents who their kid is actually really a good footballer. So like he transitioned from primary school to secondary, and they're telling me, not even the kid now himself was the one who was telling me like, yo, my parents, I have good boots, I have, if it's kit, if it's emotional support, if it's psychological support, they are there for me. They want me to play the sport, they want me to enjoy it. They want me, for me, for the kid, I am the kid as I speak. The kid was saying that the parents they didn't want so much from the kid. They wanted him to just go to secondary school and enjoy his moment. And like, I should come up with no. Go there, fucking enjoy the fucking experience if it's enjoyable. Me, I remember like my time, as much as this education system is like really fucked. Fam, me, I had one of the wildest times of my life when like I was finishing school. Like I remember like on Saturdays of like first time and second time, I was like, fam, I was never in school. Either I was doing sports or I was doing music or I was doing I can't remember, random shit, man.
That is supposed to be the main thing that is supposed to be happening
Exactly, in schools.
in schools, like sports, like
Art.
then art,
Technology, innovations, man.
innovation, everything.
Artisans, man.
Yes.
Get them doing the woodwork, as you are saying. Let them even learn their languages if they want. If they want to learn their native language and they don't know, do that. Let them do that, man.
Let them do poetry.
Let them exactly.
Let them write. But now you say parts of a fucking insect.
Bro,
As if it matters.
if the abdomen is not there, bro,
They even separate like abdomen from thorax.
the thorax.
Me, I
the
see it like a
head.
continuation of something.
Have you ever?
The fucking bug. It's gonna bite you.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
you're gonna bite it, or you're gonna just.
I've
walk
never looked
past
at the
it.
bag and it's like, yo, fam, yeah, you see this ant, man.
Like tomatoes.
No, yeah, you see like this part. Like this one goes to the gym, man. Like, yo, this is the thorax. This is the one that when it carries those things they carry, if it's bread on the ground, this is where it goes. And then the abdomen is where. There's no shit like that should be happening. So, yeah, man. I think that the sad situations are as we put them, but as for me, I want to just, your words have said it all. The schools should be places of kids innovating, kids being themselves, kids expressing themselves, either in arts, sports, languages, writing, poetry.
I wrap up with like, there shouldn't be jobs.
Yeah,
The first phrase.
yeah.
There should be just people doing their thing.
There should be transitions. Now
Just-
they
yeah.
just transition to some.
Just someone just doing
Awesome.
their thing. Someone will be like, my thing is digging wells.
Yeah.
I'll be like, digging wells everywhere. Like,
Dig that
we
shit.
wouldn't
Holla
have
at your boy, bro.
fucking problem of water anywhere.
Exactly.
We will be like, there's a guy,
There's a guy.
who digs wells.
Exactly. Holla at your boy, man.
There is a guy that does. We shouldn't have like jobs.
No, fam.
We should just be like, let free.
Yeah,
Everybody just do your thing. If like there was an announcement tomorrow, from now on, no jobs.
Yeah.
People should figure out how to eat, how to control shit. That's it.
We would be in a jungle, best believe. I don't know where the SUV brothers would.
And there will be like no importing shit.
Yeah. We're consuming our own.
So you have to figure out how to move from point A to point B.
Crazy.
Whether it's
Cuba style. Actually,
in a wheelbarrow or whatever. Those ones we make.
You will use those ones, my friend.
Yeah.
Because I remember there's a time I think in Cuba, there was they had banned, what is it called? I think there was an embargo, so they couldn't bring in American cars. So that nigga said, what? Was it Castro? One of the Castro said,
Fidel.
like, yeah, I was like, fam, we can't bring in cars, so we just have to do with the ones that we have. That's why you see, even when you go to Cuba right now, you find those vintage cars, because they just adapted, fam, and they continue with their lives.